are so back, everyone. It's your girl, your secret admirer, your dream girl, and your crush, Sid Pace. Hey, how y'all doing? So, today's episode, I was trying to think of what I should do to celebrate Father's Day as it's coming up. So, I have a lot of dating stories, and my friends who are married, and long story short is, like, it's fun to be married, I'm sure. I'm not in that position, so unfortunately, I'm still out here in the streets going on dates with, and it just like goes down and down and down and down. Dating is just declining. My motivation to do that because everyone's sons are ruining my life. You know what I mean? But I mean, sometimes I like to ruin their life, so I guess it goes both ways. Long story of that whole short is it's Father's Day, and I wanted to talk about these future fathers of America and really just unpack where it went wrong with them. You know what I mean? I have a lot of dating stories that I want to share. This is just kind of, let's just hit that like surface level of some of these dating stories. There is a guy that I went out with recently, and he deserves, honestly, a whole episode dedicated to him because I don't want to say he's the worst, so what's a nicer way of saying that? Not the best. Yeah. Anyway, we won't be talking about him. I need to gather myself from that ending. But I was reminded of something that I used to do on my Instagram, not my real account. It's called a Finsta. If you don't know what that is, it's just your fake Instagram. And basically what people do is they just post random things, like maybe screenshots of what they should order on Amazon. It's just like a location where you can just post funny things and screenshots, and only the closest of the closest friends are on your Finsta. I think I started my Finsta account maybe in 2016. And I don't post on it now. I think the last time I posted on it was maybe 2 years ago, so it was short-lived. There's some good memories in here. But before we dive into that, I kind of wanted to talk about social media as a whole. I know that recently a lot of my episodes have been life lesson, life learning. And that's just because, I hate to break it to you, I'm life and learning. You know what I mean? I just am learning so much in my day-to-day life. It's oh my gosh, my world is changing forever. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay, maybe that was a little dramatic. But I am learning a lot of stuff, and I love sharing all these lessons that I'm learning with all of you. And hopefully it's beneficial. If not, hopefully I'm a good voice that you can put on in the background. So love you for that. Social media as a whole, Instagram, let's talk about that, especially because Finsta was a thing. I don't know if it's always been a thing, or if it just became popular when me and my friends started doing it in 2016, 17. Details. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change your life. Here's my personal thoughts, okay? Don't come for me. I think when Instagram first started, it was the filters, and it was the random photos because people just wanted to post because it was so new, okay? So we have this chunk of time, and then it moved into this more that everything has to be so aesthetic, and people are trying to be an influencer when they're not an influencer, but low-key they all want to be deep down, and so they're gonna post like an influencer. I think there's still some of that lingering, but I think this is the time where it's merging your Finsta vibes with your actual Instagram account. And what I mean by that is a Domino's pizza box, or a cat in a tree, or just random things. Still they're trying to be aesthetic or whatever they're trying to do. But I feel where Finsta kind of falls into this now is just that randomness, and not really caring what you're posting for social media, and not trying to make it be this whole look at me, I'm an influencer, when you're not. But to be honest, I think everybody's an influencer, period. And also just the whole life of an influencer really has me questioning a lot of things. Why can we not just enjoy things without having to film so much? You know what I mean? I feel that would be exhausting. I have some of my friends are influencers, and I love them and I support them, and I'm rooting for them. For me, it's just not really in the cards. I don't really have enough time to sleep as is, and so I don't really have time to edit videos all day. This podcast is perfect because it's a once a week shindig. Anywho, for all of this to say is social media, we're coming into an era, I want to say, that people are just more willing to post what they're doing with their lives. It's still kind of walking the line of everything's perfect, here's this aesthetic pose, here's you know what I mean? At least the people that I follow and how I do my Instagram is who cares? You know what I mean? Social media is for you and not really for other people, except maybe your grandma back home, or like your long distance best friend, your aunt, your uncle that like live in Alabama. You know what I mean? Like to stay up on your life. Like it's good to stay up with people who like maybe you don't see on a daily basis, okay? But when you post, just posting with the mindset like this was fun, I want to share it. And I think it can get toxic in times when you're like overthinking it too much, you know what I mean? Yeah, so moral of the story is post whatever you want because it's not that deep, it's not that serious. And I feel that way about a lot of things. Earlier I was having this discussion with one of my friends, and me and him, we went to the Jake Shane podcast thing that came to Salt Lake City. And if you don't know who Jake Shane is, he has his own podcast, and basically it's just like him giving advice to like people and what's going on in their life, what's wrong. So his like live podcast came to Salt Lake, and it was super entertaining. Loved it. Great. Big fan. Okay. But when we were there, I was talking to my friend and I was like, I just feel like, sorry, this is shifting gears. This is not about social media. Warning. I was like, I just feel like nothing is like that serious and that deep. Like, why are more people not trying to like reach their dream job or like stuff like that? Like, obviously it takes time, but it's like, what is holding us back? And all of this to say is this came up because of work. I love my job. I think it's great. I think it's a fun shift from my old job, especially. Ooh, maybe that could be an episode, is trauma jumping from my old job. Shout out to them. Love them though. Great character development happening in that time of life. But with my new job, I think you should take your job like seriously, like serious to just an extent. Like I think understanding that everyone's faking it till they make it is probably important and probably going to be much better on your mental health is if you just like take that off your shoulders and it's like, just know it's not that deep. You're going to go into work and you're going to do what you need to do, and anything that happens is not really in your control because it's like the reaction of other people, you know what I mean? So tie that back in with social media, is nothing is as deep as we feel it is when it comes to social media, at least. And it was just a good conversation to have with my friend, just really put in perspective that like life is meant to be fun, and like if there's something that's stressing you out, then maybe you need to like reevaluate how that is in your life. Okay? And that's the end of my life lesson for this episode. Let's dive into this. So like I said, I was reminded by my Finsta account, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like I forgot I had it pretty much because I logged out of it because I didn't post in it. Once upon a time, I decided to leak every detail of every relationship, every situationship, every bad experience I've encountered with a man and post it on my Finsta because who's gonna see? I mean, I have 70 followers on my Finsta, so not a lot. Unfortunately, when I was posting this, I had to take some of them off. Like they were following the Finsta, so I had to take them off to then post about them. So, I don't know. This was me, toxic year old. The first post that I made was in 2023, and how this started was, if you know me, you know that I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. Love it. I feel like every single one of her songs, I could find some situation that I could relate to. So, that's that. So, I decided, I was like, Taylor Swift writes a bunch of songs about all these guys, and like, them doing her wrong, or like, she's in love with them, or maybe she just saw a guy across a party and wrote a song about him. You know what I mean? If you don't know, that's Enchanted. Okay, cool. Now you know. I decided to pick 7 guys that I've been in a relationship with or had a situationship with, or just a guy that I had feelings for and didn't do anything about it. Okay? So how the post went is I picked like 2-3 Taylor Swift songs about the situation that I felt was similar to this guy and our dating scenario, okay? And then I wrote about why this song like connects to that, and I posted it on my Finsta. So we're gonna dive into that. This is for Father's Day. Hopefully all these future fathers are doing well. I know a few of them they just had their first kid. At least one of them did for sure. Anyway, so yeah, here's my dating stories with Sid. I have more dating stories than just these 6, but we're gonna start off with this so we can get this behind us. So then let's say like for this most recent guy that I had been dating, going on dates with, whatever you want to call it, we're still decompressing from that. Homeboy deserves his own episode because of all the craziness that he was, and delusion and manipulation and all the things. We're gonna put a pin in that for now, and it's gonna be the whole episode, hopefully coming soon. Trauma. Just kidding, it wasn't that serious, but like he was really annoying, so I guess that is serious. I don't know. I'm gagged. This is my first time looking at it in like years. So here we are with the 6 boys. Let's go. A few of the songs. that I related to these situationships, and some of them were relationships. Someone's son was definitely annoying me because I obviously created a Finsta post about them. So, like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? I'm just a girl. This is how I started this series on my Instagram. To start the series off, we will be going from the least dramatic to the most. Thank you and enjoy the ride. Okay, back in the day, she didn't hold back. We said all was well with this relationship until it wasn't. How it ended was him telling me I didn't give him enough attention and time. I was dedicated to my role at my dance studio and I was attending there for blah, blah, blah hours. And he knew that going into the relationship. And we said this man wanted me to change my schedule at the dance studio so I could spend more time with him. He said he didn't care dance was my life and that I needed to make him a priority. I was really close to his family. We emailed while he was on his mission, and when I came home, he said he was ready to get back into things with me. The week that I got home, he posted that he's been having a girlfriend for 2 months. I think these 2 songs really captured the relationship. He was really out here saying I need him to be happy and I can't do anything without a man. And I need to not be so kind and at the end of the day let myself shine by still dancing and letting him go. Thank you. Okay, so that was kind of dramatic. To start off the series, we have The Man and Bejeweled. All this to say is maybe I was a little dramatic, like dance was my life. I'm sure there was time for me to hang out with him and I just chose not to. It was my first relationship, so a learning for sure. It was high school, so again, not that serious. I think I added Bejeweled because you never want to date somebody who you have to like dumb down your like what you do in your life. And like if they get insecure about it, then it's not your problem, and that's like sad on their end that they're not happy for you, that you're doing great things with your life. Period. Moving on. I did these posts like weekly, okay, once a week. Next we have, coming up next is ... This man that never took a hint. Oh, should have said no for sure. Had potential, but at the end of the day, more cons than pros. Oh my goodness. After a total of 2 dates, he asked me to be his girlfriend. First date was terrible. DJ skills were performed. Gave me the big time ick. And got home at 6 in the morning. If you know, you know. His family was very nice and would be the only reason I would have stayed. Oh my goodness. Didn't understand the concepts of boundaries, respect, and being genuine. He said he was going to go to therapy and that would help him make his decision. Didn't listen to anything I said and told me he was trying to fix me and be the one. Along with that, he pushed too hard of questions without building trust or any sort of relationship. You look like you've been through it. People see that when they look at your Instagram. Okay, wait. I'm gagged. This was so long ago that I don't even remember some of these things that like men would say. Does it surprise us that they would say out of pocket things? No. Wow. My time, my wine, my spirit, my trust. Trying to find a part of me that you didn't. Yeah. He took way too much of my time for nothing. Oh, for me, when I said we were done, he felt as though it was death by 1,000 cuts. Thank you. Wow. I really didn't hold back in these. Death by 1,000 cuts. Should have said no. This picture was us at a museum. Tender. He was very dramatic in how he talked. And also, I don't think we should be asking people to be in a serious relationship after 2 dates. So I should have said no to that. But then he came back, 3 years later. Anyway, different ending. Still didn't work out. I said next. This is a deep one. We were friends way before anything happened. In high school, he dated my best friend at the time. And when they broke up, rumors were that it was because of me and him were dating. Disclaimer, not true. We've always been best friends. Then one day we went on a double date and he tried to kiss me and he said that he wanted to see if it would work. Talked it all up, saying we would be the most perfect couple together and that if it didn't work out, we would still be close and that he couldn't lose me in his life. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, Sydney, relax. Ghosted me, and after that conversation and 2 days later, he said he became official with a girl from Idaho, and I've never heard of him since. I've been picking up my heart while he's been picking up hurt. Cut deep back then. Oh my gosh. I just want to give her a hug. Like, I hope she's fine. It was hard to lose that friendship that was so good, and it was all ruined for what? He had to open his mouth and say that all that he was seeing another girl that was endgame. His wife told him that he didn't want me at their wedding because she would feel uncomfortable. Mr. Insincere apology so he doesn't look like a bad guy. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I'm just, what's the word? ... Indifferent. Thank you. Also, they're expecting a baby soon. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure that like after they got married, their baby was like, I'm pretty sure their baby's a honeymoon baby, which like nothing is wrong with that. But Mr. Perfectly Fine, I forgot that you existed. And this picture from the night he told me that he could see me being the one. What is wrong with people? Like, don't be saying things unless you actually mean it. You know what I mean? These next 4 guys deserve 3 songs and will be getting longer, so buckle up. Oh, okay, these last 4 have 3 songs apparently. Let's just say this was a year too long and still going. Who was this? Dude, I forgot about this. Honestly, I think he's like my favorite ex though, if we're being honest. I don't know, maybe I should have waited to say that. We met 2 months after he called off a year relationship and 4 months of engagement. It was a good time and we got along really good. Right, sounds perfect. Christmas break is when we were together a lot. When the spring semester started in January, we didn't hang out as much because school got busy. In April, he came to a wedding with me and met my friends from dance. Half of the time I was alone, he was playing basketball in the gym. The day before he came to my family party, they all liked him. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So basically, the day before this wedding, he came to a family party with me and everyone really liked him. Then we went to this wedding and he didn't really talk to like my friends or anything, and he just played basketball in the church. Then we took a break for 2 months because he was disrespectful, then started again after another 2-month break, and then started it again. And why? He would send me Snapchats of him at In-N-Out, Dutch Bros, and if a Taylor Swift song was playing, I Bet You Think About Me, man would not stop. So, period. I'm glad that my personality really just seeps into other people's lives. I really love it. Finally, in November, I was for sure done. I told him this isn't a relationship that I'm looking for. He kept falling asleep during that conversation, and he reached out to me a few weeks ago and still are talking. He is just a no and a terrible listener. Lastly, he turned on my university's game day notification, so randomly he would just show up at events and games. Thank you. I'm a fan favorite. Oh my gosh. Listen, I literally haven't read these in like forever, so this is exciting. Okay. So with my favorite ex, we have I Knew You Were Trouble, Mean, I Bet You Think About Me, and the picture of us at a wedding. That's like, and when I say favorite, like, okay, overall, like, was he not really the one? Yes. But just like good guy. I don't know. You always got to see the best in people. He's married though to his girl best friend. So watch out, ladies, for that. That could be dangerous. So yeah, he's married to his girl best friend. Next. This went for about 8 months of back and forth. Are we in the clear yet? Oh. It went this way because he started it with, I want to talk about what we are so we can go on the next couple trips with my friends. When it came down to the conversation, he said he didn't want to be official, but let's still go on dates and take it slow. Why mention you want to go on a couple trip when you actually don't want to be a couple? Good question. He said he was ready, then he would take it back. Then he was actually ready, and then at the end of 8 months, I was so emotionally exhausted. He actually put in effort in our dates and making them special, genuine. He liked my friend's golden retriever energy, but there were times where I didn't know what version of him I could get that day. There were many times he would cry to me, and I guess I was the one to help him get over a lot of issues. Was told I was second best. Oh my gosh. Wait. Okay. When it ended, he found his now fiance, which is his now wife, 4 months later. Thank you. Also, I have his book he let me read. Do I give it back to him? In the comments, they said, don't give the book back. That is your consolation prize. And I actually didn't give the book back. So I just got a new car. Thank you everyone for cheering me on through that. I just got a new car, and so when I was taking everything out of my old car, his book literally was still like in the glove box, and I threw it away the other day. Be proud of me. Wow, okay. So this guy, his songs were Dear John, Out of the Woods, Question. And then it's a picture that my best friend at the time took of me and him in her basement. Oh, he's actually a really good guy. I think it was like all great, and looking back at it now, I was dramatic. There were some things that I was like, like the whole back and forth, like I get being slow, but then it's like, I don't know, I think it's so important to take things slow in a relationship. And this back and forth of like, okay, I'm ready, and then I'd be like, okay, and then I'd talk about it a few days later and be like, okay, I think I'm ready, and he's like, well, actually, no, I'm not. So yeah, but a lot of time spent going with him as he would do like car detailing because that was his job, and so that would be us hanging out and like skateboarding. One of my favorite memories with him was he turned on Lainey and we just like watched the stars. So that was like the cutest thing in my life. Also a fan of him. Next we have, I said with Valentine's Day in the air, next we have this dude. 3 songs for this guy plus 8 others that are not included. A fan favorite of all the men. I don't even know what that means. Basically, man of my dreams on everything I ever wanted. Carpet cleaner for Louis Vuitton and Dior. Plays the guitar. Skater boy. Brown hair. Green eyes. Yeah, this one was brutal. Every day or hangout he had effort put into it. I went to Bear Lake for the weekend with another couple and they got married 3 days ago. He brought me to hang out with his friends multiple times, and one of his friends told me he's never brought anyone around as much as he did with me. Ended over the phone, longer than Joe Jonas's call to Taylor. I don't want to put effort into you anymore. Word, live, laugh, hated that, loved him. Now love comparing every man I go on to dates now with him. He made me feel so special and all the lovely feelings. He brought me up just to leave me hanging. Anyway, I don't know what to say about this man, but I had the man of my dreams and now he's gone. Catch him on B-roll, I guess. Thank you. XOXO. Yeah, this is true actually. I feel like after a lot of lame loser men, when I met him, it was like perfect and it was like flowing and it was just like, man, this guy's the guy of my dreams. So when it ended, I definitely was comparing everybody to him. Do I do that anymore? No, thank goodness. Get this, the girl that he dated next, we basically looked like twins. I mean, at least I was his type, I guess. So the songs that I put with him in this post were This Love, Right Where You Left Me, Cornelia Street. And then it's a picture of us from like one of my favorite dates that I've ever been on, probably. Anyway, let's move on. I'm gonna cry about it. Ooh. Okay. We've made it to the last one. And I said, sorry to keep you waiting. Up next, you've made it to the most top tier that has shaped a lot of me now. I had a way with words, but it was a little dramatic, let's be honest. This might be the longest one by far, so let's begin. Okay, yeah, that was kind of long. Okay. We met on my mission. And he went home 9 months before I did. And when he was home, I think probably like, I want to say like maybe 3 months after he's been home. No, honestly, I think it was shorter. He would write me handwritten letters. He sent me a few gifts, one including a promise ring. He moved to Ogden for a month before I came home. First off, he's from Idaho. So this man moved to make things work and planned that we were going to get married. Love that. Came home, we dated, was the only person he knew in Ogden, so it would make me feel bad if I didn't hang out with him every day. Like, sorry, I haven't seen my family and friends in 18 months. Everyone, I'm gagged. I really didn't hold back. Okay, then my mom got COVID, and so when we had quarantine and I missed out on a trip with some of my mission friends, he went and connected with some other girl who was, you guys, I don't actually know if I can like keep reading this because I feel like it'd be such a good episode. Like a whole episode, honestly, because this whole relationship was actually crazy, and I think still to this day like probably one of the worst situations I've been in. So I'm not going to finish this post. I'm sorry that I won't be finishing this one. Oh my gosh. I'll give you the SparksNote version of the rest of it though. Basically he connected with another girl and he took me up to meet his family one weekend. And then the next weekend he took that girl up. Told both of us that he loved us. No. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, so basically he was dating 2 girls at the same time. We both met his family. He told both of us that he loved us. And meanwhile, one of my best friends at the time, we are not really close anymore. She knew everything. She knew both sides of the stories because she was friends with the other girl as well. And I knew that something was going on, and so I had talked to my best friend and I was like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, I don't want to be in the middle of it, so like I don't want to share what I've been told. And I'm like, well, you asking for like how I'm feeling about him and also asking her how she's feeling about him, therefore you're low-key putting yourself in the middle, so low-key you're just making it more messy than it needs to be. And then I confronted him about it and he was like, How did you find out? I was gonna tell you. I love you more. So it's interesting. Now the other girl, she's married to somebody else and he's married to somebody else. So in the end, none of us ended up together. But the songs that I put with him were Would've, Could've, Should've, Cardigan, Illicit Affairs, and then it's this picture of us at a lantern festival. Yikes. I think why I put Cardigan was a friend to all is a friend to none. And I think that's just more on the scenario of my best friend at the time, you guys, at the time, who was in the middle and she was being friends with both of us, but in the end, a friend to none, you know what I mean? And the rest are pretty straightforward if you know about these Taylor Swift songs. So, wow, I don't even know what to say. That was trauma that didn't need to be taken, like, buried out of the ground, that's for sure. I'm fine, all is well, I'll be okay. We're over it. Honestly, I haven't thought about them in like years. And so reading that really just brought it all back. I was like, wow, I forgot that they were actually like trashy men. So good thing it didn't work out with any of them. Happy Father's Day. Moral of the story, I hope they're doing well. I honestly like have no ill feelings towards them. I feel like as time has gone on, I just like am like not friends with them anymore. Or some of them I do follow on Instagram still because I feel like it could have ended worse and it didn't. You know what I mean? And maybe that's toxic on my end, but that's just the truth. So I love to support from afar, you know what I mean? I love to know, like, still know what's going on in their life. When I do date now, I don't compare them to any of those men, those boys, if you will, those children. That was kind of exciting. I hadn't looked at my Finsta in like literally years. Going back and reading some of that was really entertaining, and I hope it was entertaining to you. And now that we got that out of the way, moving forward, we can talk about an episode dedicated to a few other people that I have in mind, starting with probably the most recent one. He really just had everybody fooled. I don't know. We don't need to get into that. Moral of the story, self-sabotage people, they're real. I feel like I need to go read my journals like during this time and like see how I was doing and see. Gotta measure that growth, you know what I mean? Share it with your friend, share it with your ex, share it with your boyfriend, share it with your husband, your uncles, everyone for Father's Day. And, you know, don't be afraid to call them out on stuff and to label a Taylor Swift song associated with them. It really helps when you're trying to get over somebody and you have one of her songs. Because I'm like, Taylor just gets it. And then we move on. Live, laugh, love, all of that. Things that don't kill us make us stronger. Character development, you already know. Love you all. Bye.